You have been under attack since the moment you drew breath. The forces arrayed against you knew who you were before you even had a chance to discover it for yourself. From your earliest days, adversity has shadowed you like a predator, relentless and calculating. The trauma you endured wasn't a coincidence. It was a deliberate assault, a strategy designed to crush your spirit before it could rise. You were marked for greatness, and that mark painted a target on your back. Childhood was no sanctuary for you. While others played freely, laughing in carefree innocence, you carried a heaviness that didn't belong in such small shoulders. The challenges came early and often: betrayal, loss, rejection, like arrows aimed at the core of your being. These wounds were not random. They were precise strikes meant to cripple you before you could recognize your power. You were meant to grow weary, to break under the weight, to question your worth before you could see the fire that was being kindled within you. This is not a battle of flesh and blood. This is war in the unseen realm. The obstacles in your life have been orchestrated, their patterns too calculated to be accidental. The betrayal of those you trusted, the cycles of pain that seemed to repeat like a cruel rhythm, the nights spent staring into the abyss wondering why it all felt so heavy. All of it was part of a dark strategy. The forces that oppose you understood something you didn't yet, that you are a threat. They sought to snuff out the flame of your purpose before it could illuminate the path for others. But you have endured. They underestimated the resilience buried deep in your soul, the unyielding strength that only grows sharper under pressure. Every tear you shed was fuel for a fire that refuses to die. Every scar became a mark of defiance, proof that you have faced their attacks and emerged not unscathed, but unbroken. The battle you fought is evidence of your value in this world. Those forces do not waste their energy on the insignificant. They target the ones who carry the potential to shake foundations and bring light where darkness reigns. Now you must awaken to the truth. What you have endured is not just your story, it is the blueprint of a spiritual war. The chaos you faced was designed to silence you, but you are still here, a living defiance against the forces that sought to destroy you. Your survival is their failure, and your awakening is the beginning of their defeat. You are not simply a victim of circumstance. You are a warrior, chosen for a purpose so profound that even the darkness trembles at your rising. From a young age, the signs were there. You felt the weight of responsibility that others could not comprehend. While many drifted through life's illusions, you wrestled with truths that cut to the bone. The loneliness you endured wasn't random. It was an initiation, stripping away distractions and false connections, leaving you raw yet unbreakable. You were forged in a crucible of rejection, misunderstanding, and pain, because only those tempered by struggle can carry the weight of a higher purpose. Your calling isn't soft or easy. It's a raging fire, a consuming force that demands everything. It asks you to rise when you feel like falling, to speak when your voice trembles, and to stand when the ground beneath you quakes. The chosen ones are warriors, not spectators. They carry burdens others cannot bear and see visions others cannot grasp. Their pain is the price of clarity, their suffering, the forge of their strength. You were chosen because you are capable of holding both pain and glory. The struggles you faced were not meant to break you, but to break open the hidden reservoirs of power within you. The world may not understand your journey, but it was never meant to. You were not created to blend into the background, but to shine, guiding others out of the shadows and into the light. You are here today because you were shielded by hands you could not see. Through every storm, every crushing moment when the weight of the world threatened to break you, God's protection has been your unseen fortress. The trials you endured were fierce, yes, but they could have been fatal. What you survived wasn't luck or coincidence. It was divine intervention, deliberate and precise, ensuring your survival when everything conspired to destroy you. Drop a comment below saying, "I am preserved for greatness," if you feel the power of His protection in your life. The chaos you faced wasn't without restraint. You've walked through fires that should have consumed you, but instead, they refined you. And through it all, there were whispers of reassurance. In the quiet moments when you felt completely alone, God was present, holding you together when you thought you were falling apart. Every breath you took, every step you managed, was proof of His sustaining power. The world threw its worst at you, and yet here you stand, scarred but standing, bent but unbroken. His protection wasn't always visible, but it was relentless, surrounding you like an unyielding wall against forces that sought to undo you. You are proof of divine preservation, a living testament to a power that shields without fanfare, intervenes without demand, and preserves without asking for recognition. Every battle you faced has been a victory, not only of your strength, but of His unwavering defense of the purpose planted within you. That's why you need to join the Obsidian Inner Order, the only place on the internet where we unpack the truth behind your DNA is a lethal weapon. From the moment you were born, they've been working overtime to manipulate you, control you, and suppress the divine potential encoded in your very being. They know what your DNA is capable of: awakening, transformation, and liberation, and they fear it. In the Obsidian Inner Order, we expose the systems that have tried to keep you small and show you how to reclaim the power hidden in your DNA. Join 400+ chosen ones who are breaking free from the matrix, learning the secrets of divine manifestation, and stepping fully into their purpose. Stop scrolling. Start breaking free. Let's disrupt the system and reclaim what's ours together. The link to the Obsidian Inner Order is in the description. You have not suffered in vain. Every wound, every tear, every moment you thought your spirit might shatter was seen and accounted for. The God who shaped you has not turned a blind eye to your pain. He is not indifferent to the scars etched into your soul. For every ounce of trauma you have endured, there is a promise. A blessing so profound, so overflowing, that it will eclipse the weight of your suffering. This is not just a comforting thought, it is a divine certainty. Your pain has been the soil where seeds of restoration are planted. What you faced wasn't random or purposeless. It was allowed to prepare the ground for something greater. The betrayal that crushed your trust, the heartbreak that hollowed you out, the rejection that left you questioning your worth. Each of these was a chisel in the hands of a master sculptor, carving away the excess to reveal the strength hidden within you. Your struggle was not to break you, but to build a foundation capable of holding the blessings that are coming. This is the divine principle. For every loss there is gain. For every moment of despair there is a dawn of joy. Job lost everything, his family, his wealth, his health, yet God restored him with double what was taken. Joseph was sold into slavery, betrayed by his own blood, and thrown into a pit of despair, but he rose to a position of authority that saved nations. These are not isolated stories, but declarations of a pattern. God restores beyond what was stolen. God's promise is clear. For every tear you've cried, a flood of joy waits to flow. For every moment of brokenness, restoration comes in double measure. You are not forgotten, and your suffering is not the end of the story. It is the groundwork for blessings so abundant, they will silence the echoes of your pain forever. Every tear you've shed, every wound inflicted by those who sought to harm you, has not gone unnoticed. The injustice you endured did not escape divine attention. There is a reckoning written into the very fabric of existence, and those who dealt harm will not escape its reach. You have been wronged, betrayed, and cast aside, but God has seen it all. Divine justice is not delayed, nor is it denied. The hands that wounded you will feel the weight of the same pain they inflicted, multiplied and undeniable. The universe itself is a courtroom, and God is both witness and judge. Those who sowed destruction in your life planted seeds they cannot escape harvesting. Their cruelty was a fire meant to consume you, but it will turn on them, burning everything they built on their deception. Their schemes, no matter how calculated, cannot outrun the inevitable correction that awaits. Divine justice is not blind. It is precise, measured, and certain. You may not have seen their downfall yet, but rest assured, the weight of their actions is already pulling them toward it. And yet, your story is not defined by their offenses. What they meant for your destruction, God is already transforming into your elevation. The betrayal, The lies, the cruelty, they are the very materials being used to build your breakthrough. Every attack against you is being flipped into an advantage. Every pain a step toward your purpose. What they stole from you will be returned, doubled, and restored not in spite of their actions, but because of them. The very energy they poured into your downfall is being redirected to fuel your rise. You are not just a victim of their harm. You are the evidence of their failure. Every time they sought to silence you, they only amplified your voice. Every time they tried to break you, they only revealed your resilience. God's hand is turning the tables, and where you once stood in pain, you will stand in power. They will witness the blessings that flow into your life. Blessings that will outshine the shadows they tried to cast. Divine justice is not just about punishment. It is about restoration. What you lost will be returned in ways that overflow, leaving no room for bitterness or regret. Your pain will not just be avenged, it will be redeemed. Their actions were an attempt to write your ending, but they underestimated the author of your story. God is not just bringing justice, He is bringing glory. Your suffering will not only be answered, but transformed into a legacy of triumph. And they will know it was by the hand of the one who saw it all. You have been forged in fire, shaped by storms, and tempered by pain that would have crushed lesser souls. The weight you've carried, the battles you've fought, were not the end of your story, but the beginning of your transformation. What was meant to destroy you has instead refined you, sharpening your spirit into a weapon of resilience and strength. You are not merely a survivor. You are a conqueror, standing as living proof that God's grace turns ashes into glory. Every trauma you endured has been a tool in divine hands, not to punish, but to prepare. The heartbreak that left you shattered became the furnace where your endurance was strengthened. The rejection that made you question your worth was a doorway to the understanding of your true value. What was torn from you, whether trust, love, or peace, has been replaced with a deeper reservoir of wisdom, courage, and faith. God does not waste pain. Every scar you bear is a testament, a reminder of the battles you've overcome and the triumph that is yet to come. Your resilience is not merely a shield for yourself, it is a light for others. You have walked through valleys so dark they seemed endless, but in walking through, you have discovered a path that others still lost in shadows cannot see. Your scars, once sources of shame, now shine like beacons, illuminating the way for those struggling to find their footing. You are a guide, not because you sought to be, but because your survival has positioned you as a pillar of hope. People will look to you, not for pity, but for inspiration, as proof that even the deepest wounds can be healed. This transformation was never just about you. God has placed in you a purpose that reaches beyond your own healing. The strength you now carry was meant to bear the burdens of others, to speak truth into their darkness, and to show them that survival is not just possible. It is inevitable for those who lean on divine grace. You are the evidence they need, a testament that storms do not last forever, and that even when they rage, there is a calm waiting on the other side. Through your resilience, God's power is magnified. What others meant for harm has been turned into your triumph. What once felt like your greatest weakness has become your unshakable strength. You are a symbol of what is possible when faith collides with perseverance and pain is met with divine purpose. You are not just surviving, you are thriving, transforming every blow into a step forward, every loss into a new foundation. You are God's masterpiece of resilience, a living example that even in the darkest night, the dawn always breaks. The path ahead is not veiled in uncertainty. It is illuminated by divine clarity. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are walking a road prepared specifically for you, with every step guided by a purpose far greater than your comprehension. What once felt like chaos has revealed itself as a masterful design, each hardship a brushstroke on the canvas of your destiny. You are no longer bound by the lies that told you to shrink, to doubt, to stay hidden. You have been called to rise, to step boldly into a future that has been waiting for you all along. Your trauma does not hold the keys to your identity. It has been the chisel carving away everything that wasn't meant to last. What you once saw as brokenness has become a fortress, and the cracks you thought were weaknesses now allow your light to shine through. You are not the same as before. You are stronger, wiser, and filled with a resilience forged in the fires meant to destroy you. That pain has become your compass, pointing you toward blessings that cannot be taken from you. And those blessings are not small. They are overflowing, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. What you thought was lost forever will be restored in ways that will leave you in awe. The rejection you faced has paved the way for opportunities greater than you ever dared to seek. The love that was denied you will be replaced with a fullness so complete it will silence every whisper of inadequacy. Your struggles were not wasted. They were the soil where your miracles took root. You are living proof of God's power, a testament that no force of darkness could extinguish what He has ordained to shine. Every moment you survived, every breath you took when the weight of the world pressed against your chest, was not a mere coincidence. It was divine purpose in action. The enemy sought to break you, to crush the spirit within you, but you stand as evidence that God's plans cannot be thwarted. Your survival is not just a story. It is a declaration of His strength and His sovereignty. The trials you faced were not small. They were storms designed to rip through your soul, to leave you stranded in despair. Yet, through winds that howled and waves that crashed, you remained. You bent, but did not break. You were pressed but not crushed. Those who sought your downfall underestimated the hands that held you, the unseen shield that deflected every attack meant to destroy you. Your survival is not just about endurance. It is about divine intervention, about the power that lifted you when you thought you had nothing left. You were not meant to simply endure. You were meant to shine. What you have walked through was preparation, refining you into a vessel of resilience and faith. Every scar you bear is a mark of triumph, a visible sign that you have overcome what was meant to consume you. You are not the sum of your pain. You are the evidence of a God who turns pain into purpose, who takes ashes and creates beauty that cannot be ignored. Your survival is a light piercing through the darkness. You are proof that faith, even when it feels fragile, can move mountains. Those who see you see more than your strength. They see the hand of God in action. You carry within you the power to encourage, to uplift, to remind others that survival is not only possible, but promised to those who trust in His plans. Your life is a testament, a living scripture that speaks louder than words ever could. But your journey is not over. The same God who brought you through the valley will lead you to the mountaintop. Do not let weariness take root. The promises made to you are still unfolding. The blessings prepared for you are not small. They are overflowing, crafted specifically for the one who persevered when giving up seemed easier. Keep moving forward, knowing that you are protected, guided, and surrounded by divine favor. You have not endured in vain. Every tear, every heartbreak, every moment of agony has been seen and counted. Nothing you have suffered will go unanswered. Divine justice does not forget, and restoration is woven into the very foundation of your purpose. Those who wronged you, who sought to tear you down, will face the consequences they cannot escape. Their actions were not overlooked, and the pain they inflicted has already set the stage for your vindication and elevation. You are living proof that no weapon formed against you will prosper. The hardships you have faced are not the end of your story. They are the evidence of a purpose so great that adversity sought to silence it before it could fully unfold. But those trials have prepared you for blessings that are not just waiting but are inevitable. What was taken from you will be restored in double measure. What once broke you has now built a resilience that cannot be shaken. God's blessings are not distant or abstract. They are tangible and waiting for you to step into them. Now is your time to stand firm, to walk forward with the confidence of someone who knows that victory has already been written into their story. The weight of the past no longer holds power over you. Instead, it becomes the platform for your rise, the evidence of a God who redeems every wound and turns pain into triumph. Let go of doubt, let go of fear, and step boldly into what has been prepared for you. The trials you faced were the fire, but you are the gold that remains refined and ready to shine. Your story matters. Every scar tells a tale of survival, of endurance, of hope that refused to die. Share that story. Speak boldly of what you have overcome, of the grace that carried you through, and of the blessings that now unfold in your life. Your voice is not just yours. It is a light for others who are still struggling to find their way. Your testimony is a reminder that no matter how dark the night, the dawn always breaks. Step forward into your blessings with courage. Speak your truth with power. Live as the example you were chosen to be. You are not just a survivor. You are a conqueror, destined to inspire others and to walk in a purpose that will leave an undeniable mark on the world. This is your time. Share it boldly. Let the world see the light within you and the power of what it means to be truly chosen.